Hello everyone, it is Rocky and welcome back to another episode on my YouTube channel. Today, as you can see on the screen, we're going to be going over some of the software and applications that I use as a 4.0 GPA high school student and marketing agency owner. So all of these softwares that you see listed on the bottom are going to be split up into three different categories. So first we have just general work and productivity. Then we have marketing agency applications, so specific to creating marketing campaigns for my clients. And then last we have studying for school. Also keep in mind that all of this is going to be subjective. What you might like in an application might not exactly match what I like, and of course all of these are going to be based off of my own experiences with them, as I have used all of these applications extensively. So let's get into the very first section of applications that we have today, and that is just general productivity and work. So first we have Slack. Now, Slack is a very popular work messaging and communication platform. It is used to organize projects, manage everything that you're doing essentially with work between you and your team. I used Slack all of last summer for my internship. I really liked it, but honestly, I feel like for a student and a young entrepreneur, something like Discord or even just general text messages might be even better and less expensive. But Slack does have a lot of good features like direct communication, easy file sharing, and Jamboards and stuff built into the application. So for that reason, I'm going to give it still a solid app, but there are definitely alternatives for cheaper. Next, we have a big one, and that is Opal. You guys might not know of Opal. It's a relatively lesser known app, but essentially Opal is a smartphone app, and what it does is it limits your screen time by blocking certain apps during certain times of the day. I downloaded Opal earlier this summer, and after using it, my productivity and the amount of work that I get done has just been increased exponentially. If you guys also have smartphone addictions or you just use your phone too much, this is the app for you. The only thing that I wish it had was more free features. It does give you free blocking between one time slot, but after that, if you want to add another time slot or change your time slot, it's going to cost you money. So it's still a great app. I'm going to give it an A. Next is just a classic, the Apple Notes app. And basically I use the Notes app for everything that I need to do and organize. It's just the most simple and user-friendly to-do list slash like planner agenda app. I've tried other to-do list apps and calendar apps. They just haven't been as easy to use and as user-friendly as the Apple Notes app has. Literally everything that I have to do is on that app. I literally have like a 30-page note with all my to-do lists from every single day. So for that, just because of how much I use it and how much I like it, I'm going to put it in S tier. Now, I'm sure you guys all recognize the next logo, and that is ChatGPT. Now you might be wondering why I didn't put this in the school section, since ChatGPT is usually used for school, but I've recently been using ChatGPT for mainly literally everything that I do. ChatGPT just helps you speed up your thinking process, your brainstorming processes. It's obviously not perfect as a new AI language model, but it's amazing in helping you get on the right track if you're thinking of starting a project and you need just that little bit of guidance. Just because of how much I use it, I'm going to give it S tier, and it has so much potential in the future with the development of new AI language model features and the release of ChatGPT 4. So next is another big one, and that's Reddit. This might seem strange having Reddit in a productivity section or of this video, but I use Reddit often, and I love it. It's not just like a weird social media site, but it's a place where you can find advice for literally any type of situation, and it's a place where you get inspiration for new projects that you want to start. Why would you try to brave through a new project when you can learn from the mistakes of all these other people. That's what Reddit is for, where people share stories, give advice on their own processes, and then you can implement that into your own life if you're doing something similar. There are some downsides, however. There's a bunch of like kind of trashy content and trashy subreddits out there which don't provide much value, but if you do find those right subreddits, you are going to have so much advice and so much value at your fingertips. Just because of the worst subreddits, I'm going to give it an A, but easily it could be an S if you find the right communities. So up next we have software for marketing agencies and SMMAs specifically. This section is by far the biggest section just because of the sheer amount of different things you have to do as a full service marketing agency. So I'm going to try to be a little bit quicker on each application from now on. So first we have Figma. Now what Figma is it's an ideation tool. What I mainly use it for is to create graphics like wireframes for the websites that I build, and also content calendars for marketing plans that I make. Figma is free to use for the most part, unless you're like making some really big projects, and it has easy file sharing, so you can collaborate with your team like a Google Doc on real time. However, there are some cons with Figma, and that is namely that it's not super user friendly. The UI is a little bit hard to get used to, and it's not like you can just hop in and start using Figma without maybe a little bit of experience building things like wireframes, or without watching a couple of tutorials first. Just because of that, I'm going to give it a A tier. So next we have Rocket Reach, and Rocket Reach is a great tool. I use it every single day, and essentially what it does is it finds contact info for people online. Through Rocket Reach, I've found connections with literally so many different business owners, and I've gotten so many opportunities just through this one app. There are a lot of downsides, however. Rocket Reach really sucks at finding contact info for people who are like less known on the internet. Like if you were to try to find a local like business owner, they're not going to be able to find that. It is kind of pricey. I think it's like $12 a month. You get 5 free contact info scans, but then after that it's like $12 a month. And they've now implemented features so you can't make like multiple accounts. Just because of that, I'm gonna have to give it a C tier, but there are alternatives like Rocket Reach, like Signal Hire, which are budget friendly, that do still do the same thing, but definitely a tool worth checking out. Next we have Wix, and everybody knows Wix. It's a website builder, probably the most user-friendly website builder out of all of the ones that I've used, and it has a bunch of special features, like it has a marketing database on it, it stores customer information, it has forms, it has all these plugins that just fit onto it. However, there are many cons that I have with Wix. Mainly it's like the technical issues. It doesn't give you a lot of upload options in terms of designing something. Also, there are many glitches with the thing. Sometimes you'll apply a certain style onto an object and then it just won't show up, or like it will distort the object. And you know, just because of that, I might just have to give it D tier. I really like using it as a website builder, but there are so many better options, like just to name a few, Squarespace and WordPress. It's very good for beginners, but once you move past that basic level of website building, it can't really handle that much, and it's a little bit expensive, so just for that, D tier. Next we have Canva. Now I have a kind of a love-hate relationship with Canva. Everything that I make on graphic design kind of originates on Canva and then spreads out throughout all the other graphic design tools that I use, but Canva is most beginner-friendly design tool ever. Anybody can pick it up and start making beautiful designs, and it has such an extensive library of fonts, stock images, graphics that you can free to use. In terms of price, it's like $20 a month for the gold feature, but honestly it's worth it if you are a graphic designer. However, downsides, it's honestly sometimes too beginner friendly. They don't have like more advanced options, like one big thing is like item selecting, and they don't have like a good pen tool where you can draw your own vectors and graphics. Just because of that, and just because I'm a little bit more of an advanced designer, I'm gonna give it a B, but they are releasing some really cool new AI features. Definitely gonna change the game, and I can see the app evolving day by day. Now, Up next, as you guys can see, we have the king of all graphic design softwares, and that is Photoshop. And it is the king for a good reason. One of the best graphic design softwares I've used personally. Although one major downside is that it is super hard to get used to. It's gonna take at least months to get used to it. But once you do, the payoff is incredible. It's so extensive. It has literally every tool you need, and there's nothing that you can't do on Photoshop in terms of images. Just because of the high learning curve, I'm going to give it an A. But if you're willing to put in that time and effort, it definitely goes into the S tier. And let's kind of reorganize this. I think Photoshop definitely goes top of A. Okay, next we have another one of Adobe's apps, which is Adobe Stock. Great website to find all of your stock images, especially my fellow graphic designers know that finding really good high quality stock images is hard, but Adobe Stock has all of that for you. When you do create an Adobe account, it gives you like 10 free stock image credits, which is amazing. So besides that, the library is pretty expensive, but sometimes if you're looking for more specific things, it might not have that. It's good. I would put it top of B, only because the A tier is getting a little bit full, and I don't think it's nearly as good as some of the other apps up there. Next we have another stock kind of image thing, which is Flat Icon. So what Flat Icon is an icon gallery with vectors and icons of all different things that you could need for an icon. I use Flat Icon for inspiration when I'm making logos. If I need some quick icons for like a website, I use it a lot. So for that, I think I'm gonna put it alongside Adobe Stock. It's super useful. It's a great app, and it's free to use like permanently. So that's another plus. I recommend everybody checking out their library if you need images or icons for your website or your own business. Next we have CapCut. So CapCut is a viral video editing app. Really good video editing app for beginners. I personally use it to edit all of my videos just because how easy and how simple it is. It is completely free to use, but there are paid features, but honestly I think everyone could survive without needing to pay for it. Obviously not as insane as Premiere Pro, but still a great option if you're trying to edit videos on the go, or you just need to create something simple like my YouTube videos are. For that, I think I'm gonna put it top of B. Like again, it's not as good as some of the other apps up here because there are better alternatives, but still a great beginner-friendly, free-to-use video editing app, perfect for whipping up together a high-quality video if you don't have much experience before with video editing. Next we have MailChimp. Now, like with Canva, I have kind of a love-hate relationship with MailChimp, maybe more of a hate one at this point. I use MailChimp to manage email marketing for all of my clients, essentially. It's good, just not the greatest. Its email marketing software is lackluster, I would say. The customizability on the emails is kind of sparse. Scheduling features are good and the automations are decent, but nowhere near the level of other automation services that we're going to go into later. Also, what really sucks is you can't do like bulk creating campaigns. You have to like create campaigns like individually, which sucks if you're trying to do high volume for emails. For the paid plans, they cap you on the amount of like contacts you can have and the amount of emails you can send, and then once you get like past that cap, it gets super expensive. Also, sometimes MailChimp will just literally like not respond to you and the campaigns will just break. It really sucks. It's a good beginner's it's good beginner software to manage emails, but when you're getting into those higher levels, there are definitely better alternatives for the same price. So we're gonna put it in C tier. Up next we have Go High Level. Now this is the automation software that I was talking about when I was talking about MailChimp. And every SMMA owner knows about Go High Level. Everybody talks about Go High Level like it's the greatest agency software ever. I mean, for good reason. It has everything an agency owner would need in one place, but because it has everything in one software, it kind of does everything mediocrely as opposed to doing like one or two things exceptionally. There's nothing that Go High Level really stands out with except for the fact that it has everything. For example, when I was using Go High Level for my automations and for my to create my automations for my email campaigns, the email builder just sucks. Its templates are non-existent. The font choices are super sparse, and the email builder is just like kind of unresponsive. Also, plus the price is super expensive. For that reason, I'm gonna have to put it top of C tier. It's definitely gonna be on the rise soon. The developers are doing a great job with it. It's just not my favorite software for me. Okay guys, and now for the final section of the video. This is the school software tier list. So here I have 4 softwares that I use specifically for school, and honestly I don't use that many for school because I prefer writing things on pen and paper, but when I do use apps and softwares, these are the ones that I use. So first it is cut off, but this one is Note. I used to use Quizlet, but they've now made like the learn features behind a paywall, which really sucks, and Note is the perfect alternative. It is everything that Quizlet does, and sometimes even better. There's a lot of customizability with how questions are presented to you. The practice tests are much better, and there's less ads on it, so there's less obstruction to your study time. It even has like special study schedules like spaced repetition. I've never really tried that, but I've heard it's really good for memorization. Great app, honestly, giving it an A tier. Next app we have is Saturn. Not really a app specific to studying, but I use it a lot during school to keep track of my classes, when I have opens, like what events I have during school and after school. Just perfect to keep track of what I'm doing during the school day. Saturn even updates automatically, so if your administrators make a change, like they change the day for some reason, the class pattern, unexpected early release or delayed opening, Saturn will automatically update to reflect that. Just a great app. I'm not sure if it's A tier, but we'll definitely put it somewhere in A tier. No real complaints with it. It's just that it's super niche and doesn't really have functionality outside of school. Next is the Google Drive, but more specifically the Google Drive family. So Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Sheets, all that good stuff. You know, obviously this deserves S tier. Literally everything that I have for school and not school is stored on Google Drive. No, obviously free to use until a certain like storage point for everyone. The most user-friendly, quick, capable interface ever, and all the app families just work together so well, so easy to collaborate with other people. Couldn't ask for anything better than Google Drive. Now finally we have Khan Academy. Another amazing app. Don't use it often, but when I do, I just have the smoothest and the best studying experience ever. This is what I mainly used when I got my 1580 SAT score. I just studied Khan Academy's free SAT resources that they made in partnership with the College Board, and that's literally all I did. I didn't touch any other textbook or study tool, just Khan Academy, and I felt super prepared for that test. Outside of the SAT, I used Khan Academy to prepare for some of my AP courses this year. Like I did some prep for AP Physics on Khan Academy and AP Calculus BC. My only criticism for that is in those like prep courses, it does spend like a lot of time on like filler subjects that aren't really necessary. Like they'll go over what a function is, like redefine that for you. Like, bro, if I'm taking AP Calc, of course I know what a function is, and then I'll spend like forever on like one small topic. It's good if you are learning something for the first time, but if you just want like a review, it's not really the best. Um, those courses specifically, but you know, overall, still a great study tool. I think it goes higher in the A tier. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for all the different software and apps that I use on a day-to-day basis to manage my work, my agency, and school. These tools are all useful and unique in their own ways, and I don't think I would be able to get as much work done as I do without the help of all of these tools. I'm just looking at this, I think this is a pretty good representation of where each app should lie. Maybe there is some wiggle room depending on your own personal preferences. But yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want more educational marketing content like this, make sure to subscribe and like the video. Check out I have some really cool marketing content coming up for you guys, and I hope you guys stay to see that. That's it from me, Rocky, out.